Over 60 Egyptian pharaohs are buried in the Valley of the Kings. Bas-relief means low relief, so this is a low carving in limestone decorated with paint.
What's the king's name, and who is the female figure? What is she holding?
The common name for this king is Seti I. He was a New Kingdom pharaoh of the 19th dynasty. He reigned for about 11 years, and most scholars date his reign to around 1290 to 1279 BCE. The female figure is the goddess Hathor. She's about to place a protective collar or menat around Seti's neck.
Ah, Hathor was worshipped by all Egyptian women, from queens to paupers. She is identified with pregnancy and childbirth, and was closely identified with the sun god, hence the sun disk. She was also nurse to the sky god Horus. That's why she is always depicted with a cow's head, or as shown here as a woman with cow's horns. Why was the tomb discovery important and exciting?
This tomb had many important features. It's the longest and deepest of all known tombs in the Valley of the Kings. The decorations are very elaborate, and it was the first known with decorations in all the side chambers and corridors that have so far been explored. Parts of the tomb are still unexplored. Within the decorations are complete versions of all the known religious texts. There are 7 or 8, not just the important Book of the Dead, which contains the spells for reincarnation and coming out by day in the afterlife. Though Seti's mummy itself was not found until almost 65 years later, it is one of the best preserved of all Egyptian mummies.
I understand that this print is a lithograph. What is a lithograph?
Lithography uses an image etched into a surface, then transferred with ink to a sheet of paper. M.C. Escher wrote, quote, "I am a printmaker, heart and soul," unquote.
M.C. Escher's work is often described as showing perspective, illusions, and tessellation. What is tessellation?
Tessellation is the process of creating a two-dimensional plane using the repetition of a geometric shape with no overlaps and no gaps, also known as tiling. The alligators are entering and leaving the tessellated floor, and the print appears to be about the relationship between 2- and 3-dimensional space. After visiting the Palace of the Alhambra in Spain and seeing the Moorish tiles there, M.C. Escher began drawing mental imagery, often based on geometric patterns.
Was M.C. Escher from Spain?
No, he was raised in Holland, then lived in Italy and Switzerland. In 1955, he was knighted in the Dutch royal house. M.C. Escher explained, quote, "I try in my prints to testify that we live in a beautiful and orderly world, not in a chaos without norms, even though that is how it sometimes appears," unquote.
How did M.C. Escher describe this painting?
Escher wrote of this print, quote, "Evidently one of the reptiles has tired of lying flat and rigid amongst his fellows, so he puts one plastic-looking leg over the edge and wrenches himself free."
That is a cool-looking bridge. What is the story?
The Mostar Bridge was a very famous and historical bridge before its destruction in 1993 during the war in Bosnia, part of the former Yugoslavia. The blowing up of the bridge cut off the Croat population on one side of the river from the Muslim population on the other. Designed by Mimar Hayruddin, construction began in 1557 and took 9 years to complete. The Sultan of the Ottoman Empire swore to execute Mimar Hayruddin if the bridge collapsed after the wooden supports were removed. It is said that Hayruddin started to dig his own grave on the day the supports were removed. However, the bridge stood for 429 years, a testament to its excellent design. One of the more unusual ways the bridge was used was as a diving platform. The annual diving contest took training, dedication, and great courage.
Who is the artist?
The artist is a Pennsylvania watercolorist named Mary Grace WIble. Mary Grace had an adventurous life, traveling around the world solo in a freighter ship, piloting Piper Cubs, attending universities in Mexico and Europe, and was selected among American artists to paint in China in the 1970s. Mary Grace, whose name is pronounced WIble, began her professional career as a teacher at the age of 18 in a one-room schoolhouse and ended her career as an art professor at Kutztown University in Pennsylvania. She sold over 1,000 paintings in her lifetime. Her watercolors are found in private collections around the world, including the Secretary of State in Mexico.
Why does this painting have words on it?
This painting was created as the cover illustration for the book Treasure Island, written by Robert Louis Stevenson.
What is the story Treasure Island about?
Treasure Island is an adventure book for young adults. The book includes all of the traditional ideas of pirate life: tropical islands, treasure maps marked with an X, and one-legged parrot-carrying seafarers. The book includes characters like Long John Silver and Billy Bones. Treasure Island has given us our concept of pirates and buried gold.
Where is N.C. Wyeth from?
N.C. Wyeth was raised in Massachusetts, then he moved to Wilmington, Delaware to join the Howard Pyle School of Art.
In a letter written by N.C. Wyeth, he explains what a tremendous effort was to complete this painting, and 3 others in 2 weeks. It dawned upon me to complete 4 huge pictures in 2 weeks was going some. Well, I did, and I'm proud of them. Yes, the cover design, the decoration for the book lining, the title page, and 1 illustration.